but, I hate that girl with a passion.
We have no time for such petty rivalries, my friend. I fear that Maxis may manipulate your companions into following his orders. He can be a very convincing liar. I know this firsthand. For now, you must focus on only gaining control of the tower above ground. It is more important than you can possibly imagine.
So, no pressure then?
The components necessary to build an energy conduit to power the tower can all be sourced from this location. When you find them, you must ensure that they are not used to help Maxis.
I give you this. You'll help us out, right? Hey, you broke some shit. Way to go, fella. I'll try anything if it helps you stay alive. Huh. I should probably hang on to this. Maybe I'll lick it every now and then. Just for some flavor. You ain't pushing me around!
You have to do what they say, Sean. It really is very important.
Bullet's almost gone. What else could go wrong? Actually, don't tell me. It was me or you, pal. Easy question if you ask me. Five, 7? Shouldn't there be a 6 in there somewhere? I think it is! I think this might just be my new favorite! Awesome! I got smear? Is that how you say that? I mean, seriously. Who got up one day and decided to invent this pointless piece of shit? Only one? What happened to your twin sister? Ain't this your favorite, Misty? Huh? Would you be interested in making a deal?
Max ammo!
I bet these would make eating breakfast a whole lot more fun! Fully automatic action. Kinda like that robot masseuse I knew back in the day. Wax on, wax off! Why can't I get my hands on a nice pair? I ask myself that every day. Maybe I'll give this a shot. Hey, what's the worst that could happen? What? It's still here? I half expected it to be invested in some bullshit scheme. What? It's still here?
انت
I half
بالفلوس
expected it to be
بروجان لو
invested in some
بالمانجا.
bullshit scheme. What? It's still here? I half expected it to be invested in some bullshit scheme. What? It's still here? I half expected it to be invested in some bullshit scheme. What? It's still here? I half expected it to be invested in some bullshit scheme. What the fuck am I supposed to do with this? Huh? Draw my own weapons? Hey, that's not a bad idea. Well, that was a big fat pile of poop wipes. Double points. If we play this right, we'll all be sitting on big piles of cash.
You need to get the others to do what you tell them. That's what working together is.
Do it! Only leaving this here because I have holes in my pockets.
Explain it to them. I don't care if they are talking over you. Just tell them what they have to do.
Only leaving this here because I have holes in my pockets. A bank?
Insta-kill.
Like who trusts banks? A bank? Like who trusts banks? A bank? Like who trusts banks?
Why don't you listen to me? Did I do something wrong? Huh? I'm so annoyed. I don't even want to speak to you.
So, in what ways does this drink make me feel? Oh, it lets me carry more weapons. I was way off. You know how this works? Huh? Anyone? Ah, fuck it, I'll just fire it up. I think I'm getting a sugar rush. Can we negotiate a peaceful solution? Oh, just give me a fucking gun already!
الحين نوريكم الفن الحقيقي. وراي تطوير هذا العدد من الأسلحة.
Shouldn't you give me something for being a loyal customer? You know, a pen or anything? What? It's still here? I half expected it to be invested in some bullshit scheme. Ugh. not sure what that meant. Hey, this looks like a real good place to get ambushed! Damn it! Just banged my stupid head on a stupid invisible wall! Ugh. I'm beginning to think that there's planets. What if they're planning to kill me? Hey, if I brought you a car, could you shoot that up too? Whoever smelled it, dealt it!
You really are quite pathetic, aren't you? There's what you need. No! I hate you so much!
Wow! Did you see what I did? I didn't! Hey, I found some candy! Sweet! Something around here stinks! Oh wait, I think it's me. This is what you want, isn't it?
Shadow Man, who knows what the consequences of this would be? After his time spent on the moon, Richtofen would be teleported yet again to a temple of unknown location, a place in space and time known only as Shangri-La. There's some debate about where exactly this takes place, but nobody really knows for certain. However, he would find an artifact there of great importance in the focusing stone.
قاعد في سوم مواد.
Venerated by the natives of that temple, he was teleported back to Earth. The thing is, though, the Richtofen that came back, however, was a very changed man. One with a much more sinister scheme at hand, aiming to reach Agartha in order to harness its power. In the time following the return of Edward Richtofen, Group 935 would expand their operations to more locations around the world. An abandoned theater near Berlin, Germany, the Wittenau Sanatorium, a deserted mental hospital, another would be in Siberia near the original Tunguska meteor, another would be in Dreisendrachen or the Eagle's Nest, which is closer to Austria, and finally Griffin Station all the way on the moon. And still, with all of this expansion of the operations in Group 935, They had all of the funding they could ever ask for, with the German government and the Reich funding them. The one thing 935 could never get enough of is test subjects. They would need live subjects, humans, that would be subjected to
I have no idea what to do!
inhumane experiments in order to further and to push their technology development. And honestly, what better way to capture a live test subject than the enemy soldiers of the war that you're currently fighting? A total of 8 live human subjects would be initially captured. One was a drunken Russian, defeated by both German forces and despair at the wounds of war. The other, Japanese warrior, betrayed by his and finally a Mexican spy who was caught hiding within enemy ranks. Together, these 3, Nikolai Belinsky, Takeo Masaki, and Pablo Reyes would become brainwashed to becoming Richtofen's minions on this quest of power, until an incident with Pablo's spleen required a last-minute replacement. However, in the meantime, an American soldier named Hank Dempsey, alongside John Banana, Smokey, and Gunner Ridge, would attempt to rescue
I'm ready to go 10 rounds!
Capture. However, this plan was a disaster. All of the men were killed except for Tank. He would be inevitably taken into custody by 935. Now, Hank Dempsey as a third and final lackey, Richtofen would be ready to enact his plan.
No second chances! Not anymore!
The plan was simple. Richtofen would use the dog of his enemy's daughter as bait. After taking away Samantha's dog named Fluffy, he would put Fluffy into the device, running it, then changing it forever. The damage done to Fluffy would be irreversible. Whatever it wasn't Fluffy anymore. It was something more akin to an elf. Samantha, having seen this, would run to her aid before Maxis intercepted the two to save his daughter. With them all now in the teleporter,
Anyone gonna
locks
step
them
in here?
and sends them away, delivering it with the famous words, "Goodbye, Dr. Maxis." Richtofen's maniacal laughter would be heard echoing the halls of the Dory's facility. The remaining scientists on hand, such as Dr. Porter, would take his own life at the burgeoning moments of the undead outbreak. And so it was that the Dury's
Nobody told
facility
me it
would
was
be
gonna be
overrun
easy.
with the monsters.
They never said it was gonna be this hard!
It was not much different over at Griffin Station on the moon, where Samantha is
Really can't
chased
be
by
much fun
Richtofen's
for you,
allies and
having
indirectly
been shot
into
off
the
like that.
MPD. Becoming drawn to the device, Samantha is teleported inside of it and soon thereafter corrupted by the dark ether. Dr. Groff is instructed by an irate Richtofen, learning of these developments, to teleport Maxis to the moon in hopes of coaxing his daughter out of the MPD. However, when he returns, he does so with the knowledge about merging with electricity from a realm known only to us as the Crazy Place.
Can this day get any worse? That's it! Just keep sticking your goofy heads out! Somebody! Anybody! Help me!
I know he's made some mistakes. I actually saw him. You are my consultant. When no longer died, we could not bear the
Wow! See what I did? I didn't!
I did not mean to neglect you. I just wanted to know it was safe from us. I lost you. Can you do something for me? Something there.
Just how much more is double?
These were some of the final words to his daughter before taking his own life. In the wake of this catastrophe and the rage at her father's death, she gains control over the ether
Hey, if there's
and
a hammer
unleashes
and
the
nails
undead
floating around,
into the station,
can we use it on
as
the
well as
freaks?
Richthofen at every turn moving forward. A few months prior to these events, an Allied plane crashed down Element 115 on an airfield bunker in German occupied Europe, leaving 4 lone Marines fight till their last breath. This outbreak was not an effort to Samantha's newfound power, but more so an accident due to Group 935. The bunker itself, however, had an unknown purpose. A much darker secret. Something wasn't right here, but it wouldn't be revisited for quite some time, and its true significance would not become relevant until much later. With the countdown timer now placed on Richton's head with Samantha trying to destroy them. This, it would become this group would have come on their quest. It's MTD.
It's fucked up. Why did you do that to that?
I'm gonna pretend I can't hear you.
Wow.
This facility, by Division 9, the Japanese faction experimenting with early 115, and even Takio's former employer, where they would go to retrieve Richthofen's diary. With that crucial piece of the puzzle, they would return to the Dury's facility and use a teleporter in hopes of getting back to Samantha and using the diary's knowledge to weaken Samantha's hold on the ether. Unfortunately, for Ultimus, something
I think that worked out about as well as could be expected.
would overload the teleporter and send Ultimus to an abandoned theater in Berlin, formerly run by Group 935. Before leaving here, they would encounter various versions of Samantha's bedroom, and thus her psyche, using the teleporters while they were there, and they would learn just how corrupt the dark ether had made her. It was a terrifying glimpse into her mind, and with the picture becoming more clear, their resolve was stronger than ever in that they needed to defeat Samantha Maxis. A still operational lunar lander that was found at the Berlin abandoned theater would be used by Ultimus, and they flew to a Russian cosmodrome where they would free the lone soul of a man part of the Ascension group, one Anton Gersh. This man, Anton Gersh, this lone soul of the Ascension group, the Russian version of 935, would be absolutely horrified of Samantha's influence and imprisonment of him in the ether. And so Ultimus agreed to help Anton Gersh, and restoring the use of his Casimir mechanism eventually engulfed the crew and would shoot them further in time to the year 2011, to the location of the first ever Tunguska 115 meteor land. However, this time, it was no longer a research facility commandeered by Group 935, but instead a film. When the Ults would show up, a movie is actively being filmed by the director, George Romero. The film in question was a feature named Call of the Dead. However, due to Samantha's influence, the movie went from a pretend zombie set to a genuine, real, undead threat.
You don't have one, do you?
Get back to here, you makeup. You don't look dead enough.
Let's go.
Yeah.
When I got up this morning, I had
I
no
did
idea I'd be
research
this
for a World War
badass.
II movie. I came across some old Nazi documents. I couldn't believe what I was reading. Element 115, necromancers, raising with a real truth.
Okay, maybe one more time.
Max ammo.
The ammunition overlords bless us with their gifts.
Those, some of that crazy shit happened right here.
Ultimus, however, stuck safely in a small room under the lighthouse. Primarily, Richthofen would communicate and would help guide the 4 remaining alive actors through this undead nightmare to retrieve a helpful artifact. This is probably a good time to explain that in zombies, there is a race living under the called the Vrilya. They are essentially a hybrid of lizard and human-like creatures with very superior intellect. And it's implied through the technology provided to humanity by the Vrilya is what allowed researchers like Group 935 or Division 9 to fully utilize and take advantage of Element 115, because without the Vril technology, 115 would be something that humanity could never contend with. So Richtofen knew this and sought to harness an artifact specifically made from the Vril. And Richtofen had his eyes set on something specific, an artifact called the Golden Rod. Being chased by the zombified director of their film, and now Sarah Michelle Gellar, Danny Trejo, Robert Englund, and Michael Rooker would find the rod. They would even power it, and they delivered it to Richtofen, sending Ultimus away to a remote temple. But something was wrong, because this wasn't the first time the crew had been here, or at least not Richtofen anyways. This was the very same temple, the Shangri-La, where he was once worshipped and venerated by the inhabitants. However, this time, they weren't alone. There were two more souls stuck here in an unending time loop cycle. We don't really know how they managed to find their way into Shangri-La, but they were in a never-ending cycle of exploration and subsequent death. These expeditioners were named Brock and Gary. With Ultimus's help, they were actually freed from their never-ending hell, and in return, they helped Ultimus unlock access to the Focusing Stone, another Vril artifact. With all of the parts required for his plan, Ultimus would try to teleport to the moon once again, but the use of the 3179 JGB-215, or the baby gun, overloaded it once again and sent them through time and space back to the Pentagon in the 1960s. This is the second time that Dempsey would accidentally cause these interruptions in Richtofen's plan. It honestly kind of makes sense why he hates him so much. In any case, after the crew teleported once again, they ended up Pentagon, which was experiencing its own outbreak at that moment. Ultimus used all of the machinery and assets that Broken Arrow had left over to build and directly establish a teleporter to Gloom Lake, which would then give them access to the moon base. However, Samantha knew what was going on. She had another trick up her sleeve. Through the power of her persuasion and being able to communicate directly with souls in the Dark Ether, she managed to convince a Yuri Zavoisky, who was a previous Ascension Group member, to head to the Pentagon directly to stop Ultimus. But what she quickly realized was that she was too late, and Yuri Zavoisky didn't get there in time, for Ultimus had already escaped and established a connection to the moon base. However, Yuri Zavoisky's presence didn't go unnoticed, as a JFK, a Richard Nixon, Robert McNamara, and Fidel Castro would meet there the day after to discuss mutually assured destruction, leaving them to deal with Yuri himself and the undead outbreak. With all of the necessary parts gathered, and at the precipice of Richtofen's goal, they teleport to Griffin Station and harness undead souls to open the MPD and reveal Samantha, thus weakening her grip with the ether. As more souls are gathered, Richtofen pulls the lever and finally enacts his grand scheme that he's been plotting all along, swapping souls with Samantha and giving himself control of the ether, one step closer to reaching Arthur. Richtofen intended on leaving her and the rest of Ultimus for dead, but Maxis, now merged with the electricity at the station, aims to help them weaken Richtofen's link to Earth. And how did he do this exactly? By what means did he achieve this? By literally crippling the Earth itself. Maxis would launch 3 separate rockets at Griffin Station, all towards Earth, making it its striking point. And with all of these rockets colliding, it would absolutely obliterate and cripple the Earth, and thus Richtofen's connection to the ether and the Earth as well.
So, you're not gonna back down. I'm guessing that wasn't enough to make you bleed out.
I should have made you faster.
All of this pain, these tribulations and struggle that Takio takes Nikolai with him, only to get betrayed by their tyranny. Now,
Yeah, I know I'm not the first one to bring up this video in the BSDN.
Richtofen had no intention of helping them out either. There's hardly a lonelier circumstance to be abandoned on the moon and the only home you've ever known now burned to rubble. The Earth is tough, and its survivors are no different.
Hey, you still got one arm left. How many do you need, right? Don't see an easy way out of this one.
Meanwhile, over on Earth, in the remnants of a fractured Greektown testing facility, both the CDC and the CIA are fighting off hordes of the undead, all the while witnessing the transfer of power between Richtofen and Samantha Maxis.
See what I did? I didn't just how much more is double? Watch out! Don't want anyone slipping on all that stuff! Max ammo! Free ammo is just about as good as it gets!
These survivors battling on Earth would meet their grisly end at the hands of one of the 3 rockets sent to Earth by Maxis. Inside a bunker, however, underneath the facility, resided one Marlton Johnson, who survived with his intellect and sharp thinking to avoid the nuclear blast, surviving yet another day in hopes of locating more survivors to improve his chances of survival. He would eventually gather the courage to leave the bunker and escape the facility, locating more survivors and trying to venture off on his own until he met 3 others on this now road. The first was a girl named Abigail Priorton, otherwise known as Misty. The second was a former Broken Arrow employee who has secrets of his own, and the only name we have for him is Russman. And the other, a neurotic older man named Samuel Stuhlinger. Now with Misty, Russman, and Stuhlinger by his side, the soon-to-be Victus crew would travel to Washington, D.C. based on the words of Stuhlinger's voices. This voice, appearing before him and guiding Stuhlinger, would be none other than Edward Richtofen himself. Now, it's worth talking about why Stuhlinger is able to hear Richtofen. It's not just because he's a little bit more on the unhinged side. Just as Richtofen initially touching the device that became a vessel and allowed these voices, namely the Shadow Men, to appear to him in his head, similarly, eating any amount of zombie flesh, which is very commonly what survivors on the Broken Earth would have to do for food, eating any kind of zombie flesh would thus establish a connection between that vessel and Richtofen. And so Samuel Stuhlinger was constantly at the whim of hearing Richtofen's voice in his head, whatever he wanted him to hear.
We alone are your salvation. We alone can light the way. Here are the will. Is that young?
It was at this Hanford site that they were also persuaded by both Richtofen and Maxis, who was communicating through electricity. They traveled around the town using a broken-down bus piloted by an amusing yet crude robot named Ted. Along this quest, they would encounter an entity known only as Tejارب, who held an ominous resemblance to the Broken Arrow landmarks surrounding Victus. They ultimately activated the time in there in Maxis' favor, and then teleported by Rifthofen to the destroyed skyscrapers of China, where they experienced a vicious cycle of death, with Stuhlinger repeatedly being told to accept your fate and to begin anew.
You don't understand. Doing this.
Can't we negotiate a peaceful solution?
Travel where?
We're a big group. You didn't really fare all that well, did you, huh?
How did you fall? What? What do you mean, end the rift? Well, maybe I don't want it. Huh? Did you think of that? I'm sorry. I don't know how to class. Can I finish? Keep killing me, baby. Oh, shit. If you're gonna talk to an imaginary frame, Stu, you're not gonna wait till you're in the D3 zone. What do we do now?
What? I'm a good place to defend. Kick ass. That's it.
I don't understand. Why are you talking about Stuhlinger? Whiskey made it pretty clear.
He said, hey, here.
It is here that we find a little bit more about Stuhlinger's origins. Through an intercepted radio broadcast, we learn of a group called the Flesh, who eat zombie body parts, thus all of them
It'll
have
be
their
like
voices.
taking candy from a baby. Except these guys don't have moms that'll chase after you. Wow! Did you see what I did? I didn't. I got fucking powers, man!
Max ammo!
Why'd you make us wait so long?
Has been unable to confirm it. We advise all individuals and members of fellow survivors profound in the bad symptom. In particular, yourself. Are those closest to you really who you think they are? Are they following their own secret? Are they perhaps plotting against you? The dangers presented by such symptoms cannot be overstated. It was with deep sadness that I myself was forced to euthanize those 13 members of my own team. To those, it is not a spirit of a warning to our survivors. We must all do whatever it takes.
Where's the giant? He knows how to deal with the half-pint.
And we can only assume that Stuhlinger has this guidance since he was once a member of this group called the Flesh. Here, on this broken-down Chinese skyscraper, Victus is met with yet another choice: to activate the pylon in either Dr. Max's or Richthofen's favor. Not really sure who to trust either way, as Richtofen is communicating directly with Stuhlinger, and Maxis is communicating with the rest of the crew via any kind of electrical signals he can manage. So it's a bit of a tough choice, but ultimately they put the pylon in Maxis' favor. After this, Victus would go on a very long journey, traveling by foot, and they were guided by Richtofen to one final location, an end-going mining site, which happened to house an old western town underneath, once known as Purgatory Point in the late 1800s. This western town contained the final pylon needed to help their benefactor access their power. Seeing a massive rift right here in the earth before them, they knew they were reaching an endpoint. Something had to give somewhere. So, after traveling down these mining shafts and ending up in the old abandoned town, Victus would meet a gentle giant named Arthur, who once killed the Wolf King of Derisenberg. After scattering his master's remains over the castle in the 1400s, he mysteriously got teleported to the old buried town, and toward this point now, he would help the crew on their journey. But Victus would uncover a number of more mysterious things while in this old western town. A large mansion inhabited and haunted by a ghost woman who sought to protect the Pack-a-Punch machine from anyone who drew near. For reasons not fully explained until later on in the story, it is recorded by a blacksmith, Jebediah Brown, in 1885. that he was told by
Nobody
two
told me it was
agents,
gonna be
Monty
easy.
and Shadow,
They never said it
to
was gonna be
create
this
a
hard.
weapons upgrade machine using Element
No one
115
likes a
from the
sore
mines
loser.
under Purgatory Point. However, the exposure to Element 115 caused an infected member of the town to bite Jeb's mother in the throat, eventually killing her.
The ammunition overlords bless us with their gifts. Guessing that wasn't enough to make you bleed out, huh?
Doc said it happened quick. Clyde jumped up. Ripped his throat. Old Bill ran over. The two through Clyde's skull. Shot him dead. And the dog. And Mom. She delayed the rest. She arrived at the center. Bless her soul, she'll be greeted with open arms. It was last night. When I slept, I had a vision. Two angels came down and they told me I needed to be ready to prepare for what was coming. So what was coming, they would not tell me, but how to prepare. For the machine, they said, a machine that would grant you great power.
In mourning and using poor judgment, Jebediah places his mother's body in the package machine, only for her to return as a ghastly spirit, the same one that Victus fends off in 2025 here. This old western town, buried underneath Earth's crust, would have so many dark secrets of its own that would probably be left buried to the rest of history, and if it hadn't been for Victus to find and encounter this, most people would have never known about any of these things. But ultimately, the crew, not seeming to trust Richtofen's intentions and activating the pylon in favor of Maxis, in a turn of events, it would be Maxis himself that turned out to be the untrustworthy one of the two all along, as his prolonged exposure to the dark ether corrupted him. Despite his once righteous goals of removing Richtofen from power and the banishment of his soul into a zombie, Maxis would be the one to perish alongside that reality.
You ain't touching me with a shitty stick.
Keep moving, survive.
Double points! What does that do?
Once the gateway is open, I will finally be reunited with my dearest Samantha.
Are you forgetting something? Even if you're rich and don't feel nothing, keep okay.
You need people so eager to re-enter the physical world, Richtofen. I'll be very glad you guys.
With the void left by its implosion, a rift would open for some still left within this dimension. One would be for Samantha, who would be transported to the moon to a house in a garden. Another for Victus, the now zombified Richtofen, taking them to another reality, or more accurately, another dimension.
Whenever you're ready.
My name is Samantha. I'm going to tell you how all this really began.
Hey, just because I ain't keeping count, don't mean I suck at math.
In this new world that Samantha found herself in, she felt lost, abandoned, trapped. With no means of accessing her powers outside of the ether, she communicated from a place called the House to the only person who she saw fit to help, her father. The version of him she called upon resided in a dimension ravaged by the battles of the First World War.
Began long ago on the battlefields of the Great War.
And so, it would be here that in northern France, an excavation was taking place, helped by two German scientists, a much younger Dr. Maxis and an Edward Richthofen, who sought to harvest dark and mysterious forces buried.
My God.
for centuries, believing their discovery would ensure victory for Germany. They couldn't have imagined what their research would truly unearth. Ancient Templars from a century.
Lemons? I don't even like lemonade. You don't exactly ammo. Can this day get any worse? Wow! Did you see what I did? I didn't! I won't warn you again! Okay, maybe one more time. I'm gonna pretend I can't hear your tormented scream! Appetite than you. You're a big group. You didn't really fare all that well, did you, huh? Double points. Oh, I think that worked out about as well as could be expected. we negotiate a peaceful solution? Whose vengeance is it? Mine! Wow! Did you see what I did? I didn't. Can't be much fun for you, having been shot off like that. Hey, you still got one arm left. How many do you need, right? Max ammo! Oh, how can you not notice your arm being shot off? Trying to back me into a corner, ain't you? I'm guessing that wasn't enough to make you bleed out, huh? Nobody told me anything here. They never said it was gonna be this hard. Not anymore! I am kicking ass and taking names! What'd you say yours was? You don't have to, do you? Oh, how can you not notice your arm being shot off? Right now! This moment! Whenever you're ready! Don't see an easy way out of this one! I know! I got a lot of issues to work through. Can't be much fun for you, having bits shot off like that. like lemonade. You got one arm left. How many do you need, right? Just how much more is double?
In second.
Anyone gonna step in here? How would be a good time to switch to my other weapon? I'm guessing that wasn't enough to make you bleed out, huh? Touching me with a shitty stick. You don't have to, do you? Hey, you still got one arm left. How many do you need, right? Somebody! Anybody! Help me! Oh, you little freaks will be in trouble when our friend shows up! Shoot! Shoot! Nope, didn't work. I had no idea I'd be this badass. Trying to back me into a corner, ain't you? Whoa, hold tight. Kill you in a minute. Can't we negotiate a peaceful solution? Last time I heard something like that, it came from Russman. Lemon! I don't even like lemonade! Oh, I think that worked out about as well as could be expected. Don't see an easy way out of this one. I'm guessing that wasn't enough to make you bleed out, huh? That big goon do something about these stumpy little bastards? Oh, how can you not notice your arm being shot off? If you really want to talk to me, can't we do it over the phone? I'll take you down one limb at a time if I have to! Go bother someone else! How about that little bitch, Merle? There's no other way this was gonna end for you. I am the fucking master! Looks like I've bitten off more than I could chew. Double points. If we play this right, we'll all be sitting on. I won't warn you again. Okay, maybe one more time. Looks like I've bitten off more than I can chew. How many do you need, right? Kind of feels like molasses, don't it? This clicking would stop if I just switched weapons. Damn it! Just banged my stupid head on a stupid invisible wall. Only leaving this here because I have holes in my pockets. Only leaving this here because I have holes in my pockets. Only leaving this here because I have holes in my pockets. Maybe my other weapon has some bullets.
خلص هذا التروفي بعدها بدلة.
A maze? Great! I fucking hate mazes! Invisible wall! Somebody! Anybody! Help me! Hey, just because I ain't eaten out, don't mean I suck at math! I hope this rotten smell fades away soon.
هاو وين الزومبي؟
This clicking would stop if I just switched weapons. Left, right. I don't have a route in mind here. I'm just concentrating on walking. Everyone get down! Fuck, no, wait. False alarm. Maybe I should swap to my secondary. You ain't touching me with that shitty stick. You don't have to, do you? Wow! Did you see what I did? I didn't. Not too fast now, are you?
Max ammo!
Oh, free ammo is just about as good as it gets, huh? Wonder if there's a little food court in the middle. Something around here stinks. Oh wait. I think it's me. Maze? Great! I fucking hate mazes! No point trying to wriggle free. I got you locked down. I won't warn you again! Okay, maybe one more time. I smell that one now! So, you're not gonna back down. That was unfortunate. Especially the part where I died. Oh, they all got lit up. Hey, this looks like a real good place to get ambushed! Even if you did, it wouldn't have been a very fulfilling life. I think the box sold me a dud. How come this ain't doing this? Don't account as good work. Oh, something weird is going on. Anyone gonna step in here? Well, this just keeps getting better and better. I suppose beggars can't be choosers. ain't got bullets. My options are pretty limited.
واو بدأ الزومبي يستعبط نفسه بطيء.
Getting a little low in the old bullet department. Bullet's almost gone. What else could go wrong? Actually, don't tell me.
ما ندري عنهم. مو راضي يرسمون الزومبي عشان اسوي التحدي. طبعا نهيت الراوند علشان ما يكرش علي. ابغى اجيب الجماجم. يلا باي.